Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 56 of Average Guy Opinions. I am your average guy, John Corelli. This will probably be my last kind of filler episode where I've talked a lot about stuff I've done because I don't want to bore you guys. I want to do stuff where I get some that's a little more scintillating and it gets some views. But here is my one of the cool thing I did that I didn't mention, or I mentioned, but I wanted to go about in length, is I wrote a book. It's called Throne Reverse. Very proud of it. It took a couple years to write. I feel like it's an original premise. I'm going to talk about it, maybe even read a couple excerpts. But here's what it is. Here's what the book jacket says, which feels kind of cheesy, but we had to put something on there. So here's what it says: a heartbreaking scene. Four decorated vice cops make a horrific mistake and shoot and kill an unarmed adult with special needs. The tragedy is heightened due to the fact that the cops are black and the victim is white. Our main character is Garrett Sean Williams, husband, father, and accomplished NYPD officer. Williams and his three brothers in black and blue get caught up in a whirlwind of guilt, shame, and reprisal. And there's me. That's me on stage. My ex-girlfriend took that picture. Thought she did a pretty good job. And then I'll give you this just to say it. This is what it also says on the back of the book. John Corelli is a father, writer, teacher, and comic. John lives with his sons Dante and Logan in Colorado. John was born in New York and raised in Colorado. He earned a Bachelor of Arts in History with a minor in Political Science from Metropolitan State College of Denver. John currently works as a paraprofessional with special needs children in a local elementary school that has been upgraded to high school. When he's not teaching, writing, and being a dad, John hosts and features in stand-up comedy shows in Denver. Yeah, that's all still true. Well, literally, it's been like a year since I published it. It was either February or March of last year, right as COVID was striking. I haven't sold a lot. I've sold a few on Amazon, maybe 20. I've given some away. I've sold a few when I do comedy as merchandise. But yeah, so why did I write this? And I've been fascinated with. I guess I'm wearing the appropriate T-shirt. Didn't even think about it, but I've been fascinated with black culture, American black culture, since I was a kid. And I was in New York. I was around black people when I was growing up a little bit. Then we got here to Colorado, and I was almost never around them, but I still was fascinated with black culture. I hung out with as many black people as I could find when I was growing up in middle school and high school, just because I just gravitated towards them because I find Black history tragic, triumphant, and amazing and interesting. And then I got into college and started working, and luckily I was working in downtown Denver and made some great black friends. And so basically, what I tell people when I describe this book is oh, and by the way, my son did the cover art. I'm really proud of Logan for doing this cover art. I was going to do it just like thrown in reverse, black and white. And he went with this, and I think he was like 14 when he did this, maybe 15. I'm proud of Logan. Sorry, Logan, I keep calling you a he, even though you may be trans. Logan is figuring it out. So back to the book. Basically, I tell people, if the main character is me 5 years ago, if I were a black vice cop, the stories, his backstories, his all of his experiences that go into developing his character are mine, except I just flipped the script racially. I used experiences like when I was young and would hear friends or parents of friends say horrible things racially. I would, those were stories that I remembered that added to his backstory, which obviously would be way more horrific for him to hear than they were for me, although I wasn't thrilled to hear him myself. He's also very similar to me as an adult. So, he married a very white girl. We both married a very white woman. Of course, whereas my kids are not considered mixed race, his kids are considered mixed race, and they're very successful, intelligent children. He's a guy. He really is. He just happens to be black. That's really what this guy is. But as a black man, his experiences are wildly different than mine, just because he is black. He's a successful cop, and then he gets into just a horrific bad circumstance where he and three fellow vice cops are put on this shit detail, and they end up killing a special needs child. And of course, I am very familiar with that because, as many of you know, Dante, uh, my oldest son, is 23 and has struggled with autism his entire life. He will struggle with it his entire life. And I'm really tempted to read the part where he gets shot, but I can't because I cry every time I read it. Even though I wrote it, it's too real for me. I picture my misunderstanding like that happening to my kid, and so I can't read that part without kind of losing it. And so I don't want to do that. I already did that for my mom's birthday. You don't need that twice in 1 month, do you, average guy fans? So they shoot and kill this poor kid, and I kind of put a twist on that too. I put him as he was born in Sweden, and his parents came here to get better care for him because they thought the United States at the time was excuse me, was at the forefront of autism treatment. It takes place a few years ago, basically. I mean, it's pretty much modern day. So, and then it turns into a court case. I tried not to draw out the court case too much because I didn't want it to turn into a courtroom drama. I just wanted it to be about the human condition and these horrible feelings that can happen and horrible things that happen just every day, and people got to deal with them. And you try not to, and I'd probably get a little emotional right now because I do think about just how all of us struggle, all of us have horrible things happen to us, and we just got to deal with them and try to survive. That's all being a human is, really. But yeah, so it's just a sad, sad story, and it's about this guy. I was gonna say committing an act. It's not really just doing something that he regrets, being part of something he regrets, having to deal with the emotions and feelings and discussions of his three vice partners that also shot this kid, and but mostly his guilt. How is this going to affect his life, his life, especially with his wife and his kids? How's it going to affect him as a police officer? Is he going to be able to continue? Is he going to be able to be effective? Um, and also how my theories on how a black man, because this is almost unprecedented, how often has a black man or a black cop shot and killed an unarmed white person? Almost never. And then to throw in the twist of it being a special needs white person, that there's a lot going on there. And how would he be treated by his fellow white officers? How would he be treated by the entire jurisprudence system? It was an interesting. I got to do some research. I didn't need to do really a lot of research, obviously, on the special needs world. I know most of what I needed to know to write that realistically. I don't know about being a black man, but I do know a lot about black history. And I also consulted black friends to say, hey, especially John Marsh, if you see this one, thank you. He helped me a lot as far as, hey, I don't want to be pandering or insulting, but I want to be real. And I think I was successful because, like I said, it's just a guy who happens to be black. Not black guy who's black, and a cop. And then I had a side character I was pretty proud of. His partner's about 15 years younger than him, and he's a black hockey fan. It's a little more me, and he's a comedian on the side. So that was kind of some more aspects of me being written into the second character. His name is Serge Parker, which is the whitest name I could think of for a black guy, and so I tried to have some fun with it. Tried to throw some bits in there that I have written that get credited to Serge, and how some bits that I have told on stage would sound coming out of a black man's mouth, a young man in his 30s. They start their days off, they get in the car together, and they go to fight crime, and this unfortunate thing happens, and then they end up in court. And then there's also the questioning of, hey, can I trust these three guys on each of the four individuals involved? Can I trust the other three guys in court? Or am I going to get sold out? A lot of questions. Like I said, I'm happy with it. It's not perfect. Obviously, it's my first novel, but I'm happy with it, and I would love it if you guys would. You don't even have to buy it. If you want to hit me up, I'll send you a copy. Unless you're one of those people who's mean to me in the comments, then I won't. But if you're my friend and you want a copy, want to give me your address, I can do that. So let me know. Hope you like it if you read it, but that's something I'm really proud of. And hopefully we'll get back to the political stuff the next couple days. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for listening. Black Lives Matter. Your lives matter. Have a great whatever you're having. Love you all. Peace. Bye.